Tucked away amid the priceless treasures of the Vatican in Rome is a sarcophagus, a marble coffin decorated with carved scenes of the Passion of Christ. The sarcophagus itself dates from around AD 350 and is believed to have come from the catacombs, the vast complex of Christian burial chambers underneath Rome. In the central panel is a symbol you might have seen before. It's called a chi rho, a cross formed by superimposing the first two capital letters of chi and rho of the Greek word Christos, meaning Christ. It's a symbol that invokes both the crucifixion of Jesus and his status as the Christ. And if you look closely at the sarcophagus, you can see a wreath around the chi rho, symbolizing the victory of the resurrection over death. It's an early visual representation of the connection between the crucifixion of Jesus and his triumphal resurrection. In the wreathed chi rho, the death and resurrection of Christ are shown as inseparable. This depiction also conveys another victory, namely that of the Christian faith. Roman soldiers who had once arrested Jesus and marched him to Calvary are now humbled beneath the banner of a resurrected Christ. Christians had adopted the chi rho symbol after the Emperor Constantine ordered it to be placed on his soldiers' shields on the eve of his decisive battle for the Roman emperorship in 312. Constantine had apparently seen something like the chi rho in a dream or a vision. Within a century of Constantine's alleged conversion, this insignia had become one of the most powerful and potent symbols of the ancient world. You could find the chi rho symbol in every corner of the Roman Empire, from Jerusalem to Britain, adorning mosaic floors, coins, jewelry, and imperial soldiers' helmets. By that time, Christianity, under the patronage now of Roman emperors, had become the official religion of the Roman Empire. Christianity had gone from being a tiny reform movement within Judaism to becoming the most influential and powerful religion of the ancient world, claiming the allegiance of the poorest slave as well as the greatest statesman and the philosopher. And even as the Roman Empire declined and fell in the West during the 5th century, it was Christianity that forged the cultural, religious, and political structures that would rise in its place in Western Europe, as well as in the East. Christianity has since gone on to become the world's largest and most influential religion, today claiming the allegiance of some 2.2 billion people, around a third of the world's population. Well, the key to understanding the rise and development of Christianity, or how the West was won, as some historians have put it, lies in its first 600 years. It's in those crucial first 6 centuries that Christianity formulated its basic theology, ideas and creeds, its worship practices and spirituality, its organization, discipline and institutions, its relationship with state power and the surrounding culture, and its extraordinary capacity to capture the hearts and minds of millions of people from diverse ethnic, social, and cultural backgrounds. These early centuries of Christianity are also important because every mainstream Christian body regards this early period as a definite landmark in the development of Christian doctrine and practice. Each body regards itself as continuing, extending, or criticizing the views of the early church leaders, or church fathers, as they have come to be known. Hi, I'm Michael Gladwin, your lecturer and subject coordinator for THL131 and 410, The Rise of Christianity to 600. I want to invite you to join me on a journey of historical discovery as we chart the historical rise of the most influential movement in human history, Christianity. But before we do, in this brief introduction, I want to tell you a little about who I am, what this course is about, and how you can succeed and get the most out of it. Well, what about me? Ever since I can remember, I've been fascinated by history. But that interest turned towards the history of Christianity after I experienced a profound religious awakening at the age of 19, just prior to starting a university degree in English literature in Canberra. Intrigued by the rich heritage and traditions of the Christian faith I'd embraced. I studied history at the Australian National University before heading to the UK to do doctoral research at the University of Cambridge. I've been lecturing in church history at St Mark's National Theological Centre in Canberra in the School of Theology since 2009. When I'm not pondering the past, you can find me pondering theology, philosophy and apologetics, watching films, spending time with my wife Lara, my two beautiful little girls, playing drums and guitar in bands of various kinds, jogging, or involved in the life of my local Anglican church, St George's in Canberra. But enough about me. As I've already mentioned, this course charts the rise of Christianity in its formative first 600 years. But this course is also designed to introduce you to the sub-discipline of church history, which, along with biblical studies, systematic theology, and practical theology, make up the four traditional sub-disciplines of theology. Church history examines the development of Christianity, its ideas, institutions, and people over time, and it places them in their historical context. And by historical context, I mean the cultural, intellectual, and political forces that have shaped Christianity and which Christianity has in turn shaped over the course of time. One historian puts it like this: the Christian church has been so closely interwoven with the course of Western civilization that her history, life, and institutions are matters of deep concern, not only to those who have been admitted into membership of the body of Christ, but to all who take an intelligent interest in contemporary culture. At a more practical level, historical study helps you to sharpen your skills in critical thinking, in argument, in research, in analysis and writing, and it assists you in shaping a worldview. I want to conclude this introduction by suggesting some ways you can succeed and get the most out of this subject. And I want to suggest 4 things you need to do. First, read your subject outline thoroughly, ensuring you have the required resources, including textbooks, and noting on a calendar the assessment items and their due dates. Each assessment item is designed to build on previous skills and knowledge. Second, set aside a regular block of time each week to work on your assignments, and do this from week 1 so that you can start thinking early about the topics you're going to study and what you need to do. This will enable you to have maximum time and thought for your assignment topics, to get in early for library books, and to be able to sleep at night because you're not procrastinating about those looming assessment pieces. Third, set aside a regular weekly block of time to do your readings for each topic. You can access each topic by clicking on the topic picture in your home page or on the topic number listed on the left of this screen under Learning Content. There are set readings from your textbooks in the Readings section, plus lecture notes in PowerPoint or PDF format, which I'll place in the Webinar section after each weekly webinar. In the Readings section of each topic, you'll also notice that there are discussion questions. Use these discussion questions to guide your readings and then to inform your discussions in the webinar and on the discussion forum. We'll then use the readings, forum discussion questions, and lecture notes as the basis for discussion in our weekly webinar, which you can join live online. The time and day of the webinar is also noted in the webinar section of each topic. Now, if you can't join us at that time, you can watch the recorded version at any time that suits you. Which leads to my 4th and final suggestion. Make sure you discuss the course and the topics and questions it raises as much as you can, with me, with friends and with family, and with other students on the discussion forum, and if possible, in the live webinar. We all have a great deal to learn from each other, and I can guarantee that the more you enter into conversation about this subject, the more you'll get out of it. So, do these 4 things, and your present study of the past will have a bright future. In summary, read the subject outline carefully, noting assessment due dates on your calendar. Set aside a regular weekly block of time to work on your assignments. Do the same for your readings and the webinar, and discuss your findings and questions with me and others, both in the webinar and on the forum. Finally, if you encounter any difficulties, whether related to the subject or to life situations that are making study difficult, please don't hesitate to get in touch with me. Email is usually the best port of call in the first instance, as I'm in and out of the office. But if need be, I can follow up your email with a phone call. My details are in the Contact Your Lecturer section at the left of this page. I look forward to meeting you and to learning together about the fascinating and important history of the rise of Christianity to 600.